Makes me a bad body. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a first one, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are around the world. This is iBoxingHub. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey. What's good?
All good, cuz. All good. You know what? I can't even lie. I'm just excited to talk boxing with you. Boxing's exciting. The world is going crazy right now because we're having back-to-back fights. So, cuz, I'm just excited to have this midweek boxing roundup with you. So, cuz, just start us off. What's the news?
Yeah, well, there's a lot happening. There's a lot. So you've got the rematch. You've got Taylor and Cameron happening again in, I believe, in November. You have got who have you got Dan Aziz and Joshua Buatsi happening at the O2 Arena in, I believe, October. You've got Eubank Jr. and Callum Smith. Is it Callum Smith? No, Liam Smith happening in September. I believe Conor Benn's going to be there. Potentially, we're just waiting on the dates to be confirmed. Ruiz and Wilder. That's going to be explosive. And then next week, you've got Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. Listen, boxing is just, it's amazing. Oh, sorry. You've also got Josh Warrington and Lee Wood.
Boy, there's too much going on. And then you've got the scrappers in South London, you know, Joshua Buatsi versus Dan Aziz. Cuz I can't wait, man. I cannot wait for that because that's gonna be at your favorite ground, the O2. Cuz I'm just excited. We're just having back-to-back promoters, and off air, you was obviously saying that hopefully the promoters can keep this going because this year I think the heavyweights are the only ones that sort of spoiled it because we should have had sort of that undisputed fight this year. But other than that, the whole of the boxing world is going crazy because we're having back-to-back undisputed fights. And I'm just happy that Il Chapo is going to get that second opportunity, you know, to defend her title versus, Katie Taylor once again at Dublin. It's happening, undisputed, super lightweight championship. And big up Tony Ellis, always coming through. Big up. He's obviously saying KSI versus Tommy Fury too, because we're having, you know, big YouTube events. We're having, you know, big boxing events. And yeah, look, Fury spoiled it. Yep, look, Fury spoiled it, Tony. And look, I need to say this. Look, Francis Ngannou, absolutely love him. And look, I just hope that, you know, this fight is a good one for him. You know, commercially, it's good for him. For Fury, we just know that, you know, he's looking for that big payday. But cuz, let's talk about what you was just talking about off air. You said you rewatched the Spence and Crawford fight again. What's your sort of analysis of the?
It was painful. I watched it. It was just so painful to watch. You know, it was just a one-sided fight. I've got a bit of an issue with Keith Thurman, but when I say issue, he's annoying me a bit because, like, look, I know Keith one-time Thurman is still up there, but he hasn't fought in a while. And last time he fought was what, Marius, and he beat him, yeah. But this
you gotta give respect to El Azteca, man.
There's respect there, but before that, look, Pacquiao beat him. Yeah, Pacquiao beat him. Look what Pacquiao done to him compared to what Crawford's going to do to him. So, me personally, I think he should warm up. If anything, I think a big fight, Keith Thurman, will be with Conor Benn here in the UK or even America. You know, because they will clash. They will clash. I mean, look, I know everybody wants Crawford because Crawford, he's the guy now. He is the pound for pound number one. He is the baller. He's the one. You know, he's the one. And like, obviously, I'm hearing Tank Davis saying that he'll fight Crawford and knock him out within 6 rounds. Come on, like, you know, let's. I mean, look, will Tank really go up to? Can Tank go up to 147?
I think so, man. I think so. I think Tank can go up to 147. And I'm not saying nothing about Crawford, because Crawford, for me, pound for pound is number one. But in terms of Tank going up to welterweight, I definitely feel that that's always been the journey. And eventually, you're going to want, one of the best pound for pound fighters fighting in the golden division, which is the welterweight division. So maybe it could happen in the future. But if I'm honest with you, cuz, look, Bukayo Saka's saying Crawford smokes Tank. Look, if I'm honest with you, I more or less see Crawford sort of sitting back and waiting to see what happens between Charlo and Canelo, and I think he's moving up to 154. I think it's that time, because unless maybe a Keith Thurman fight or maybe Ennis, but the thing is with Ennis as well. Look, Ennis's team is ready. Ennis is a talented boxer, and look, he's going to be one for the future. But I think Crawford was obviously saying that, his time will come, and look, it's going to eventually come at some point, but just not right now. And look, Al Heyman of iBoxingHub is obviously saying that Crawford fighting Tank will bring eyes onto him, which he deserves. Look, I definitely think that both guys, deserve a massive, massive, massive fight. Maybe in the future. I just think that right now, Crawford's thinking about, other things. Spence wants this rematch at 154. They both might have this fight at 154. Yes, a lot of people are saying, yeah, would you want to see it again? But who knows? Look, it might be a different fight at 154. So we just have to see what happens, really, cuz, man. But what's your overall thoughts about a potential? I don't know what this situation is with Shields and Thurman. Can you sort of explain?
Do you know what? They're going back and forth. I think Shields is basically saying she'll punch him up. She's a better boxer than him. I think that she's offering. She is offering him out on a charity fight, and he's willing. He's accepted the challenge, but he said he doesn't want to punch a girl, but he wants her to wear headgear. But that's just nonsense.
No.
I wanted to touch up on a subject. David Haney. Now, it's an article I saw today. Something him moving up, challenging
Regis Progress.
Yeah, but I mean, I could be wrong. Someone correct me here. Am I right in saying the WBC will vacate his WBC title, because obviously he was supposed to fight Shakur Stevens, and I think Shakur Stevens will fight Lomachenko, but I'm not sure if that. It's weird. I'm not sure if that belt will be online. I don't know, unless I think the winner. Do you know? I don't know. Something along the line where I think the winner of that will then challenge Haney if he decides to come back down or something. I'm not too sure. It didn't quite make sense to me, but my understanding is I think they're going to take the belt off him, because if he's moving up to challenge for a WBC belt, do you know what I mean? So at 140, but I just personally, I don't know WBC. I don't know how they work. But if I know Haney is stripped. Okay, so he's stripped from the belt. So am I right in saying, so him being stripped from the belt, so that means Lomachenko and Shakur, they get to do it. They get to run it. Personally,
yeah,
I think that's a bit unfair. Reason why I say that's unfair, not on Haney's side, more on Shakur's side, because Shakur, he's next in line. Yeah, Lomachenko, he had his title shot and he lost. Yeah, I understand they're both on top rank here, but if anything, we should have Tank and Shakur fight for that belt.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely. I agree. We just have to say that it's one of those scenarios where it's an in-house situation, top rank, Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson. So making the fight is a lot easier than making Tank.
I get it, yeah, but just think about it. Yeah, like, look, Luma had this opportunity, yeah. Regardless, the outcome, people say he won and lost one, but okay, Shakur, he's mandatory, yeah. Now, he should challenge another big fighter, because, like, look, okay, we don't even know the outcome. Might be Luma might beat Shakur Stevens. I'm not saying it will. Well, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And not even that. Money wise, Shakur and Tank, that will do numbers. That, my friend, will do big numbers. And the winner of that will then eventually get to challenge Haney for the rest of the belts. You know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, because that obviously makes sense from a sort of boxing perspective. I would love to see that. I would love to see Tank, versus Shakur. We would all love to see it, but I just think that the dynamics around the promotional teams makes it very difficult to sort of make these fights. And look, even with the whole situation with Haney and Shakur Stevenson, Shakur's been the mandatory for the title for a minute now. So we obviously understand that Haney wants to obviously go up. He's gone up. So yeah, Shakur's going to get his title shot, and the next sort of big fight after Tank is Lomachenko, I think, man. So yeah, I think he wanted the big fight, but they've obviously had to settle for Lomachenko, and that's still a big fight, because you could essentially retire, a legend, and fighters, that are active, they want to sort of have that name in their CV resume, just to say, look, I beat this man.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I completely understand where you're coming from. I just think that it's just, I don't know. I get it. It's top rank, but I don't know. It's what it is, man. It's what it is. But moving on to the next subject. Yeah, so Wilder and Ruiz, they're going to finalize the deal. So I'm assuming if they finalize the deal, this fight won't take place until about what, October, November?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because they got to get into camp, promotions and everything really. So yeah, I think it makes sense. It makes sense. It falls after the White Joshua fight as well. So yeah,
that
it makes sense.
means the what? Let's just say Joshua beats White. That means the Joshua and Wilder fight won't take place in December. Then most likely looking at February, March, January. You reckon?
Or February, like you said, yeah. Because obviously, Wilder's confirmed, after the Spence fight, I can't remember who caught him, backstage, but he did say, look, Joshua, next. So let's see what he's saying. Let's see what happens. Let's hope, we could get this big fight on. Hopefully, this fight can, it might happen in Africa. Who knows, man? Just might happen in
Saudi.
Oh, so yeah, you did say, yeah, of course. I actually thought most of the dream was gonna be coming to life. Nigeria, WizKid, Burna Boy bringing out the fighters. That sort of energy, man. So no, should be good. I'm really looking forward to it.
If Eubank, beats Smith, yeah, if he gets revenge, I think he wants Conor next. Conor said he's gonna be there. So I think Eubank, if he beats Smith, do you know? If he does or doesn't, I believe he wants Conor next. And I think it's catchweight.
No, let's not do the catchweight, man. With Eubank, he can't be going down in weight again, man.
No. Well, not Eubank. I suppose Conor's gonna have to come up.
He has
somewhere.
to go to 60 because he has to.
Like
we saw how Eubank was looking, underneath the weight of like 160. He's giving Conor the edge, man. He has to go up.
So with this fight, yeah, Eubank and Smith, I can't see it going to distance. I believe somebody's getting TKO.
Yep.
Somebody's getting TKO. And just remember, Roy Jones is no longer in Eubank's corner.
Yeah, he confirmed the split. There was just a bit, not like a misunderstanding, but because Roy's got quite a few fighters in the States that he's managing and dealing with, it sort of clashes with when this fight comes. So I have no idea who Eubank's obviously going to have in his corner. I'm hearing sort of a few things, but look, I would love, even if Senior was just about, he doesn't even have to be in a corner, maybe in the crowd. We need, that unity between the family, because I think last month on the 7th was the anniversary of when Sebastian Eubanks passed away. So this is a very sort of touchy time. You know, families should be together. And look, I hope to see, you know, some unity between the families, man, because I think, and they're too proud to admit it, but I think, you know, some of that has played a lot, played its role in the past, you know, with the Smith situation. But look, no excuses. I think Smith, you know, produced a tremendous performance, but I think the rematch might be, you know, different. But what does everyone think? Is it repeat? Is it revenge? Is it Ben next if Eubank wins? Look, we just want to hear what everyone else is saying. Cuz if you were the matchmaker, what are you saying to Connor if you were Eddie? You saying to Connor, look, Eubank's there, or Thurman's there, or Pacquiao's there, Ugas is there. What option are you choosing?
It's a hard one, you know, because if he beats if Ben beats Thurman, then you know his name is bigger. Well, the American audience will know who he is. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, some of them know who he is, and some of the majority of them don't. With Ben, it's like a British rival. Do you know what I'm saying? The dads fighting each other. So I would say, because he's been inactive, I'll say go for the Keith Thurman. Do you know what I mean? And then if you want Ben next, go for Ben. Same as with Ben. If Ben beats Smith, I'll probably say go for a world title shot. He's never actually won a world title. What? He was the IBO champion. I know some people don't really class it as a real belt, etc., but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, he's a champion. Yeah, he was a champion at that. You know, that situation there, you know, I think, I think he's not delivered in terms of his potential, but I think also the time when he was supposed to fight James DeGale as well, who was the champion, he obviously stripped his title to fight Eubank. That fight should have been for the title, but look, that's another subject for a different day. I agree with you. I think Junior, you know, after Smith, focus on the title now, man. Let's try get a title now.
Right, moving on to the South London brothers. And Aziz and Buatsi. I'm actually excited, you know. I never thought this fight would actually happen, but I'm actually excited. I think it's going to be a tough fight for both opponents. What I'm saying is whoever wins out of this needs to knock on Bivol's door and challenge him for his belt. Because Dan Aziz, he's done it the old traditional way, you know, he's got all the titles, like, you know, the Commonwealth, the European, the British. Buatsi, yes, he had the British, but was it 4 years ago? But in theory, Buatsi should have been knocking on world should be challenging for world title, but obviously things happen, promotional, etc. But I believe this fight, the winner of this, should definitely go knock on Bivol's door or Bertabiv's door. No more ducking. No more ducking. Let's just do it.
I agree with you completely, because I agree with you. I think that, you know, both fighters are on the brink, you know, for title shots, and I think it should happen. And look, big up Dan Aziz as well, man. I met him personally, you know, at Peacock Gym's standing room only events. And look, he's a top guy. And I just think that, you know, he deserves, you know, this big fight. And I think this fight is going to be big for both guys. It's a domestic rivalry. I think we was hearing first that this fight was potentially not going to be in London. And when I was thinking, I was like, nah, these guys need to fight in London, man. And look, I'm just happy that this fight's happening here. And look, may the best man win. I'm not gonna lie, I want Dan Aziz to get the win. But Joshua Buatsi, I respect him highly. He's a humble warrior, and I think he has a good trainer in Virgil Hunter. So I think you should just, you know, stick with that. And look, the course being produced through Andre Ward. So look, he's got a good coach. So let's see what happens, cuz. Let's see what happens. Obviously, big up Palamos Music Evening. All he's saying, big up, big up, big up. Thank you. Heard David Hay is gonna help Eubank. Yeah, we're hearing it. We just have to see what happens on the night, depending on who's going to be in the corner. Is it going to be his, Ronnie? Is it going to be Ronnie Davis? Going to be David Hay? Who's it going to be in his corner? That's the interesting part. Smith's confident. Eubank, he wants revenge. I think this is going to be a tasty one, cuz, man. I think this will be a tasty one. But, cuz, let me just quickly ask you, because we're getting to the subject of rematches. Cuz, Il Chapo, we're massive fans of Chantal Cameron. She produced a tremendous performance in the first fight with Katie Taylor. What's happening in the second fight in Dublin? Is it repeat?
Rematch or draw? I'm sorry. Revenge, repeat or draw. Sorry. Yeah, I can't look. Rematch tends to go the same way majority of the time, but I can't see anything different. The only thing I can see happening is if Taylor throws more punches, but then again, she's always open, so she's gonna get more punches. She's gonna get hit so many times. But yeah. Oh, sorry. Also forgot to mention Joe Joyce and Zhang.
Oh,
that's in the match as well.
Big Bang Zhang. You know what? I love Zhang, because he doesn't know much English, man. But when he gets the opportunity to say something Chinese power, I love the energy, man. Big up Zhang, but big up the Juggernaut as well for getting back in there with the Big Bang. It's going to be a tremendous fight.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've got a question to ask everyone here. Is there anyone in this heavyweight division that could give Tyson Fury problems? Is there anyone that can potentially beat Tyson Fury?
I think Usyk. There's potential for Usyk to do a
job.
Apart from
Usyk, is there anybody else? Like, I've heard Zhang made a comment. Zhang said that, he'll be a threat to Tyson Fury, but Zhang's slow. He's just big and slow. AJ, we have to see his comeback fight. Obviously how he fought Franklin. He's fighting Dylan White. AJ saying that, he wants, after Dylan White, he wants Wilder. After Wilder, then he wants Tyson Fury because he wants to become 3 times world heavyweight champion. But yeah. Apart from Usyk and AJ, is there anyone else in the heavyweight division that could? Joe Joyce?
Joe Joyce. I'm saying Big Bang. I think Big Bang.
Again, no disrespect to Joe Joyce, but I'm just going on to when he lost to Zhang. That was an easy defeat. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. It looks easy. Southpaw and Fury for to fight Joe Joyce. He'll just do a southpaw on him. So I don't know, but no, I'm not all jokes aside. I'm actually being serious. Is there anyone in this division that could, be a threat to Tyson Fury? Because we all talk about heavyweight division that year, but heavyweight division is my favorite division, and at the same time, it's a division that annoys me. The division that I'm actually enjoying at the moment is the welterweight and the light heavyweight and the lightweight. Those are the divisions that's booming. Cruiserweight, nothing ain't really happening. I don't really know. You know what I mean? Heavyweight is.
What's going on with Cody now that you mentioned the cruiserweight?
Well, rematch should be happening later on soon. I believe in autumn. Not too sure. Yeah, definitely having a rematch. That's about it. That's what I know. Yeah. I believe the rematch. I think he could do the job. I just think he needs to adjust. There's a few adjustments he needs to do. One of them is stop bear hugging, defense, and don't just always rely on the power, because I think a lot of them are just relying on the power too much.
But he needs to let the shots go as well, cuz in volumes. I think
I know, but that's the thing. A lot of these boxers, some of them, they tend to allow, rely on the one bang, on the power they've got, rather than actually boxing, beating down, and yeah, it's just a lot of them. It's just, I've got this punch power. Let's go. Like, look at Wilder. I believe he's improving, but we shall see the improvement of Wilder when he fights Andy Ruiz. Now, I've said it already. Yeah, Andy Ruiz and Wilder, somebody's getting knocked out.
Obviously, Palamos is saying a Coley rematch and go heavyweight. So, are you saying he's ready for heavyweight?
Nah. It's not that I'm saying he's not ready for heavyweight, but it's just like my understanding. Him being a cruiserweight, being a world champion, he wanted to, unify the division and then move on to heavyweight. You see how U6 unified the division and David Hay, do you know what I mean? And then moved on to heavy. So I think that's. I mean, look, okay, all right. If Okoli goes to heavyweight, yeah, who's he gonna fight? Obviously, there's heavyweight contenders there, but somebody that credible that we know. Like me personally, I think if you fought the likes of Fabio Wardley or David Adelaide, they'll give him problems. Am I lying? CBS as well. Like again with him, I don't know. Like he goes heavyweight again. People heavyweight is no joke. They're bigger, they're heavier. That's why it's called heavyweight.
Trust me.
You know,
it's a problem. It's a problem. It's a big problem. And look, Palamos is obviously saying that Billam, no heavyweight. Because I just think that in a way we're quite old school in terms of how we're thinking. I think you need to conquer the division, like in terms of become undisputed or unify at least, then move up, because that sort of gives you the license to move up. But then if you're sort of moving up when you've not done it, I know there's been scenarios where fighters have sort of gone up because as they're getting older, the weight of their body, naturally getting bigger. Like you're seeing, Danny Garcia, for example, we saw him fight at lower weights. Now he's a midweight now. So, he could cross paths with, Eubank Jr. and, these guys, racing to the world title. So, look, Al Heyman of iBoxingHub is obviously saying Chris Billen-Smith versus Anthony Yard. Lions in the camp will absolutely, I think in terms of the volume of punches, the energy, I think he'll stop him, in my opinion, because...
You reckon that Yard will move up to cruiserweight?
I think naturally that could be the move up. Yeah, naturally, definitely. Not right now. I'm saying maybe 1 to 2 years down the line, depending on, what happens with the Berta BF situation, the Bivol situation. We don't know what's going to be happening there. So there might be an opportunity to unify and then move up. Who knows? The Palamos is obviously saying Yard is not a Coley. Look, we know. We definitely know. And look, the best chance for Yard to become a world champion, in my opinion. So yeah, look, fight Chris Billen-Smith. I think that would be a good fight.
I think once the Bertabiv and the Bivol situation gets solved, as in like whoever becomes undisputed in that division, the belts will be vacated. Well, the belts will eventually get vacated, and I believe all of the contenders, the top 5 light heavyweight contenders, will eventually become world champions. That's just my opinion. I think right about now, because obviously you got 2 people holding onto the belts, and obviously again you got Callum Smith who will be fighting what's his name? Callum Smith will be fighting Bertabiv. The fight's been postponed, but the fight will eventually happen soon. And obviously, after that, depending on the outcome, let's just say Bertabiv wins again, we may get Bertabiv and Bivol. Who knows? We may get Bertabiv and Bivol this year. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting one. But the light heavyweight division, I'm liking it. I'm liking. They've got quality fighters. Last question I want to ask you. David Adelaide and Fabio Wardley. I think I've asked you this before. They will be fighting soon for the British title, heavyweight title. Now, how do you see that one going?
It's a good question. So it's a good fight. I think it's a good test for both fighters in this sort of come up in the division. Obviously, one saying that, look, he's ready. The other has been ready. So I just think may the best man win. I think this is a good sort of 50-50 fight. Anything can happen. I could see both guys doing the job. But I don't see this being a 12-round fight.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Oh, you've also got what's his name? Dave Allen coming back. He's gonna be fighting Fraser Clark.
Wait, Dave, what? Didn't he retire?
He's back.
Okay. All right. He's coming back. What? Is officially? Is it officials coming back?
Yeah, it's been confirmed. He's fighting Fraser Clark.
Wow. I thought, mentally you weren't, up for it again, man. But look, big up if he wants to get back in the ring. It takes courage, to go in that ring. So big up to him. Hopefully, it should be a good fight. It's a good test. So let's see who you got winning.
Fraser Clark, man. I mean, look, no disrespect to Allen. He's been out for how many years?
For quite some time, yeah.
There you go. So
look. Oh, Chris Eubank Jr. has revealed that he's appointed Terence Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomack, as his new trainer for the Liam Smith rematch. Wow, that's big news coming from Al Heyman of iBoxingHub. So Bomack, so Brian McIntyre, who's obviously the trainer and also the co-owner with Crawford of the gym in Omaha. Look, I think that's a good trainer to have. One thing that I do understand and one thing that I do respect about Bomack is that he has a team collectively working with the fighters. They've got a nice collective team from nutritionists to obviously strength and conditioning. Obviously, Bomack's doing this stuff, had work as well. So collectively, I think if this is the case, this could be a good one. In terms of the timing, do you think he'll be able to sort of implement whatever, game plan that Bomack has in place for Eubank? I think that's big news. Big news, cuz.
I don't know. Honestly, I've always said this, that everyone talks about somebody having a new trainer, blah blah blah. But remember, it takes, am I right or wrong? It takes at least 5 fights for you to gel with your trainer. Yeah. I mean, clear example. Look at AJ. Not even AJ. Look at Boatsi and what's his name? How long is it? How many fights is he is this his 5th one now? Or 4th one?
Long. Yeah, he's getting there. They've had a few fights.
I mean, he's getting there, yeah. So it's just like we hear all these big trainers name it, but it's just that it don't mean nothing.
Look at Coley.
Look at a clear example of Coley. His second fight. This is his second fight, and he loses. Not to say it's the trainer's fault, but
Yeah, look, hopefully he does better than Amir Khan. Look.
I believe he will.
No, definitely will. Definitely will. Definitely will. Look, it's exciting times regardless, cuz I think that boxing's at its highest right now, and I just hope that this energy just continues. I'm just really happy to see that we've had an undisputed champion crowned at the welterweight division, and Crawford's obviously done it twice. He's become undisputed across 2 weight divisions, so he's got a chance to fully cement himself as the best if scenario, works in his favor, that if he fights Charlo, he's got a chance to make it 3. Legendary stuff there.
For real. Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, we haven't spoke about, wait, before we go, cuz, just a brief one. This is my last question for you. Charlo, Canelo, I need to get your thoughts on what you think, man.
Well, it's an interesting one. You know me, I always back the underdog, man. I don't know what it is. It's just something about underdogs. It's just they get written off because they're going against Canelo. It's like, look, when Bivol went against Canelo, everyone's saying, yeah, this could be an easy victory, but look what Bivol done to Canelo. So it's just like, I'm just judging by Canelo's last performance when he fought Ryder. Ryder even said, like, I was expecting I don't know, people hype about Canelo. Don't get me wrong, he was once, sorry, he is still good, but some will say he's not as good as he used to be before. I don't know, could be age, could be injury, I don't know. But I think it'll be an interesting fight. I think I could be wrong, but I can't see him knocking out Charlo. That's just my opinion. He'll probably win on points. If it goes to points, you never know. Charlo could knock him out. I don't know, but it'll be interesting. But it's just Charlo needs to focus on Canelo because they're getting back and forth talking about Crawford. That ain't happening now because he signed the contract to fight Canelo. You know, because also my understanding, his brother's been out for a minute because he's going through mental health issues, etc. So yeah, it should be interesting just to see. I can't wait for that fight. Has it been confirmed on on the date?
Date's not confirmed, but it's definitely happening. I heard a few things from Jamel, in fact, and what Jamel was saying is the fight when it got announced, it was always him, but you know it got transferred sort of to the media a bit differently. So when they heard Charlo, they just assumed it was the bigger one, but no, it's always been Jamel. Jamel's, I think he's been prepared for this fight for a long time, and he says that he's the bigger Charlo. That's what these are his words. So look, this is going to be really interesting. I think that, look, it just makes the fight just interesting because if Charlo wins, then he becomes a two-way undisputed champion like Crawford. Have both of them fight, that would be absolutely big.
So that's why I'm rooting for Charlo. And not even that. So Plant, did he slap Jamal?
Jamal, yes, the 160.
I think it. Plant and Jamal will be fighting soon.
At 168, it looks like, man. I think it has to happen at 168.
See,
so technically, both twins are going to be in the same division. If you know, it's mad, isn't it?
You never know. You never know. If Jamel beats Canelo and Jamal beats Plant, then hey, let's have it. Charlo beats Charlo.
Oh, you know what? They've actually said there's videos on YouTube. They've said if the money's right, they would scrap. So look, a lot can happen. We're thinking too ahead into the future, but look, it's exciting times for boxing regardless. Cuz I know we're sort of going up to the end of the show. Look, it's always a pleasure talking boxing with you and the viewers, everyone watching. And look, he's still waiting. So our Heyman of iBoxingHub is saying he's still waiting for Sonny Edwards versus. You know what? It won't happen. It won't happen.
I think it will happen. It will happen if Sonny Edwards fights Prince Patel.
Woo! Woo! Let's have
There
it.
you go. All right, then, guys. It's that time. End of the show. We're back here on Sunday. Oh, I forgot you got Nate Diaz and Jake Paul on Saturday. Yeah, so we're back on Sunday at 7:30. And yeah, have a lovely, productive week. Peace. Love.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I start my scars with this.